based on another person's life who you love and you want the best for them. So a lot of people think that you get married for the purpose of being happy. But actually, marriage is a perfecting. It's something that makes you a better human being because it makes you live beyond your own selfish desires and to live with another person in mind. Probably so, yeah. So that's a good piece of advice I got recently.
Beautiful. Now, before I give you the mic, do you like his voice? Good, okay, she can have a question.
Now I have a call screener, you know? Before we put you on the air, we want to make sure that you don't say anything horrible. Now it's okay, you say whatever you want, guys.
I've got two requests. One is a friend who sadly couldn't be here for some stupid reason.
What is it?
Is there any way you can voice that Zero from Vampire Night?
What would you, is this for your friend?
Yeah.
Is he recording for your friend?
Yeah.
What is your friend's name?
Her name is Bianca.
Bianca?
Bianca.
Bianca. And what is your name?
Sarah.
Sarah? Look at the camera, Sarah. Hello, Bianca. I'm here at the Academy with Sarah. And I'm going to bite her neck. Question.
Oh,
You have a second one, don't you?
This may be a bit personal, but how did you meet your girlfriend?
How did I meet her? That's not personal at all. You're gonna love this. I met her at an anime convention. I kid you not. She came to one of the biggest anime conventions in the world, Anime Expo, in Los Angeles. And I was a guest there. I was their first ever American guest of honor, and it was about 6 years ago. And I was doing a panel, just like this, and I'm looking around at all the cute faces, all the different people, and suddenly I was like, hey. Wow, she's cute. And she's like, not 14. Which is always a good thing. And so after the panel was over, she walked up, and we started chatting, and we chatted for 4 hours. And come to find out, she was an actress in LA, and she loved anime, and she loved voice acting, and she loved sci-fi, and all the things that I enjoy, and we really hit it off, and so you never know who you might meet this weekend, you guys. Question?
Well, I've got 2 questions. The first one is, were you happy to find out you were the voice actor of Zero?
Oh my gosh. I have the funniest story to tell you about that. I saw a lot of Vampire Night cosplayers over the last few years, and I was like, oh, and there's one right there. And I was like, oh, I want to do this show. I started hearing about it. I thought, oh, this sounds kind of cool. I want to be in this show. I didn't even know who I wanted to play, but I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. So when the show actually got licensed by a company in Los Angeles, and they started holding auditions, I read for several characters. I read for Ido, I read for Kaname, of course, and I read for Zero. And I read for, who's the vampire hunter that, Yagari? Yes, like, right. I read for him as well. So then, this was probably like November. And then December came and we were on Christmas vacation. And my girl and I were at her parents' house in Colorado. And I knew that there would be a call coming any day about the results of the auditions for Vampire Night. Or maybe there wouldn't be a call at all, and that would mean that I wasn't even in it. So I was keeping my phone on me all the time, waiting for that call. Well, one evening, I was, my girl and I were hanging out, and suddenly my phone went, bring, and I pulled it out, and it said voicemail. I'm like, wait a minute, it didn't even ring. And I looked at the voicemail, the phone number, and it was an 818 number, which is Los Angeles. And I was like, oh, crap, how did I miss this phone number? How did I miss this call? So they left a voicemail. So I held the phone up, and I started listening to the voicemail. And it said, "Hi Vic, this is Eric Sherman from Bank Zoom." And I looked at Michelle and I said, "Here it comes." Like, you know, am I going to get to be in it at all? And Eric says, "I just wanted to call you personally, Vic, because I know you really wanted to be a part of this show. And I'm so sorry." He said, "I promise you that we will get to work together someday in the future. And you know, I didn't want you to be let down by not hearing from anyone, so I wanted to call you myself." And I literally was listening to the call, listening to the voicemail, looking at Michelle with tears in my eyes, and I was going, I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. And then Eric said, "We will work together someday soon, Vic. In fact, we'll be working together very soon because you'll be playing Zero and Ichiru in Vampire Knight." And I was like, oh my God, I hate you so much! You know what I mean? It was like, it was my best Christmas present. So that was how I ended up getting to play Zero. And I didn't even know who Ichiru was, you guys. Literally, the voicemail said, "You'll be playing Zero and Ichiru." And I went, sweet, I'm playing Zero. Who is Ichiru? I didn't even know. And then when I found out he was his twin brother, I'm like, oh, that's just doubly cool. Because how fun is it to play twins that like argue with each other and fight each other and shoot each other and kill each other? Maybe you guys have brothers and twins and you do that, but I don't. So, question.
This is because one of my friends wanted to meet you so badly.
Yes.
Would it be okay for you to give her a hello in Zero's voice?
Wow, there's a lot of Zero here today.
Because she's a very big fan.
Oh, is he shooting this for you? What's her name?
Kelly and Kate.
Kelly. Hello, Kate. How are you? I'm spending some time with Yuki, but I'd really rather be with you. Who's got a question? You guys, I want to be able to get to as many questions as possible, so let's make it one question, okay? Yes?
Firstly, I love your voice in the original Full Metal.
Thank you! I want you to beat this kid up right here.
And how did you get involved with that?
You know what? Quite honestly, I had no idea what Full Metal Alchemist was. About 8 years ago, I guess, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, Funimation asked me if I would come and audition for this show that they had just licensed called Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't even know what it was. I had just done a show called Full Metal Panic, and so I didn't know if it maybe had something to do with that. No, it doesn't. But I went up and auditioned, and actually, when I went up there, I was looking through the different characters, and I came across this little kid in a red coat, Edward Elric. Now, I didn't know anything about Full Metal Alchemist, so I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know how many lines he had. Is he even a main character? I don't know. So I looked through the sides, and then Justin Cook, who some of you know from Yu Yu Hakusho, he was originally going to be directing Full Metal Alchemist. And he called me and he said, I want you to come up and read for this show. And so I went up there, and I said to him, he came out of the studio, and he said, have you had a chance to look at the audition, at the characters? And I said, yeah, I'd like to audition for this guy, this little kid with the red coat. And he smiled and he said, I'm glad to hear that, because we need to record a test episode. They needed to record the whole first episode as a test. And he said, I thought you might be good for him, so we're going to have you record the whole first episode, which is very unusual, you guys. That's not typically an audition. So I recorded it, and as soon as we started recording it, you know, this is the one with Cornello, the very first episode. As soon as we started recording, I'm like, holy moly, this kid's really important. This kid's kind of like